Welcome to Dice Tower Live.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel and welcome to the Dice Tower Live Q&A. It is, I was about to say August. It is, what is it? June 19th, 2018. I am the slightest bit tired. Because it has been a week at Origins for sure. We got back yesterday, it took us all day to travel. Came home, I was running a VBS at my church, working with them, and after that was over, I said, I must go to bed. I had a good night's sleep, but I'm thinking I might need 2 good nights sleep, but we'll get there. So anyhow, if you're here for the first time, I am taking questions on the Q&A, so if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. I don't answer every question, I just answer the ones I feel like, to some degree, but you have a good chance if you ask some. So let's get going in here. Everyone's talking about being hot. Sure. So this is always interesting. Someone says, it's killing hot in Pennsylvania. Can't imagine Florida right now. That's the thing. Everyone always says it must be hot down there. Sure, it's hot down here during the summer. But as I found when I travel up north, also hot there too. So it's hot down here in the summer, but in the winter, it's marvelous. All right. Caught back. Okay, well, I already answered this. All right, let's see. Thanks for all those who did say hi to us at Origins. So, well, let's see. Origins was a good con. We're now in full preparation mode for Dice Tower Con. Had an hour meeting about that today. I assume I will do that more. I did a couple boring unboxings today. They went live. Started working on some reviews that we'll be posting this week. A lot of cool games we'll be talking about both this week and next week. And a lot of those games that you saw in the boring unboxing have already been opened and are being prepared for us to play them. Have you put the video of your live show from UK Games Expo yet? No, not yet. The UK Games Expo folk, they are the ones who recorded those. So I know they sent some of them out, but not all of them. So when they send them to us, we'll post them on our channel. The most interesting thing I saw at Origins, I guess maybe I went and looked at Axis and Allies Zombies. That just seemed interesting. It was something different. You know, a lot of games I know what's coming up. Axis and Allies Zombies just felt like it was, ooh, here's a blaster in the past, Axis and Allies. And then they added zombies to it. Who's going to win the World Cup? I don't even know who's in it. I only know America's not. My review will go up probably next week. Did you go buy Katie's jerky at Origins? Yes, I actually got a lot of her jerky at Origins. Brought it home. But I bought her jerky last year. She was in the North Market last year, so I bought it there. So then she moved over into the convention itself, which I thought was neat. Let's see. Is Dice Tower Con sold out? It is. Considering how you enjoy music and ranking things, what are some of your favorite albums of all time? I literally have no favorite albums of all time. I don't care one whit about albums. I was never born in that era, so I don't really, the album thing makes no sense to me. When I was a kid, my dad would always take records, which is what we used a lot, and he would record different tracks on these records and put them on tapes in the order he wanted to. And so we listened to mixtapes all the time. When I went to college, I had CDs briefly, and it was annoying. I would always randomize them. And then when I went to Korea, I bought like a 300 disc changer CD thing, which was really awesome because I wanted to hear just random music. And as soon as the MP3 thing came out, I was like, this is phenomenal. And so I've never listened to an album again. I just listen to whatever music pieces are my favorites. How'd you feel about the Saturday Showdown? I thought it was a lot of fun. Also a lot of interesting things in 2 hours. A lot of those people I might not have given the time of day to other than that. That sounds mean. I don't mean it to be, but I don't normally look at prototypes and listen to them. So this was a chance for people to do it, and I expect this will become a thing if we keep doing it. Best food I had at Origins? Well, you know, probably we went to Schmidt's for lunch there, and that was really good. But On the final day, before we went home, we went to some little pizza place called Tommy's, which was really good pizza. I really enjoyed that. Is the Dice Tower retreat full now? Essentially, yes. We are slowly trickling people in because of the nature of the beast. We invite a few people at a time to it because we can't afford to have the thing oversell. And we're like right at the top. We're about to send a note home to everyone. We'll probably do it tomorrow, Wednesday, if you haven't heard back, saying we're sorry, but it's full right now, and I'm really sorry for that. But they are both full. But seeing how much interest there is in these, we may do them more often. How did it feel losing the mini painting contest between your Dice Tower teammates? I don't mind at all. I think it would be a bummer, right, if you were best at everything. I guess I learned at an early age that I was best at few things. I was never good at sports. I was never the fastest, the strongest. In fact, I was almost always the worst at many of these things. I'm not the best at playing board games. I think there's a lot of people who would argue I'm not the best at anything. But that's okay. I'm good at a few things, and those things are fun to do. And so if I'm not good at painting, that's okay. And if I make other people laugh by being bad at painting, then I'm happy with that. Oh, that was Suzanne asking that. I was supposed to answer that much more snarkily. Sorry. I will get revenge. I can't even do it right now. I'm so not in a snarky mood right now. Maybe I'll get there. Give me the questions that provoked a snark. Now there's people talking about albums and alrighty. I think you put a lot of speed games in the Dexterity Top 10 list. So won't you make a Top 10 speed game? I don't know what you mean by that. I just put a lot of Dexterity games. If there's speed involved, a lot of Dexterity games involve speed, I guess. There's probably a lot of crossover between the two of them. Are the rumors of Dice Tower Con Europe being located in Huddersfield true? No, I think you have those mixed up. Basically what's happening is Dice Tower has a lot of contributors, a lot of people involved in our network. So what we've done is we're trying to cut some of them out. And we found the best way to do that would be to send them to Huddersfield and tell them there was an expo there, when in actuality, we're just trying to axe them off the team. Oh, let's see here. How is Retreat different from the con? The retreat's just going to be 60 people, so that's a huge difference. It's 50 times smaller. So there's that. The con is 3,000 people. Con is going to be big and grandiose and fun and super great. The Dice Tower is going to be small and intimate and super fun and great. And then in between those is the Dice Tower Cruise. And so there you go. Let's see. Is Jason happy with the World Cup coming to the U.S.? I doubt it. I think Jason's like exhausted from the World Cup right now. We haven't seen him because I know he's working on that. Most anticipated shark movie this summer. Was there one? Was Massacre of the Sharks out? Because if there is such a movie, if they made a movie where a man just went around and killed a bunch of dead sharks as they wimpily died, that would probably be pretty good. Have you played Santa Maria? Sure I have. I plan to do a review of it at some point, but I found it an enjoyable game. Let's see. It's fine not to be the best at things you enjoy. If you were too good at board games, they might not be so enjoyable. The challenge is what keeps me engaged in games. Sure, I guess. That's probably not me, though. I'm not trying to be the best at games. I don't have this goal. I just want to play against other people. Have you ever crafted something by yourself regarding board game accessories? And I don't mean an insert that only has to be assembled. Thinking of crafting my own board game table in the future. Oh no. No. I haven't even come close to doing that. I'm not a crafter by any means. After finally seeing Solo, I want to read some Star Wars books. I know you've read a few. Can you recommend any? My favorite Star Wars trilogy is called the Thrawn Trilogy by Timothy Zahn. It is Heir to the Empire, I believe, is the first book in that trilogy. It is a fantastic trilogy, and I recommend it. You don't have to know anything about any of the other books to read it. Borrowing that, The Courtship of Princess Leia is a nice standalone book. Kevin Anderson's wrote some good ones. There's a lot of different ones, but a lot of the other ones all connect to each other. And I know Timothy Zahn has written Thrawn, which I haven't read yet, which I know is like a prequel to the Thrawn trilogy. But the Thrawn trilogy is easily the best of the series that I read. I do know that Michael Stackpole wrote I, Jedi is good too. Let's see here. I'm considering Essen for 2020. How far in advance do you buy tickets? I'm assuming you mean airplane tickets. How's the best way you get there once you get to Dusseldorf or Frankfurt? I found that it's for us, sometimes we take the train and sometimes we just take a taxi. It all depends. But you were asking how far in advance you buy tickets. I just keep watch on them, and as soon as they're inexpensive, I get them. How grateful were you to Suzanne for sharing the delicious pies brought to the booth at Origins? I was mostly grateful. It took her a long time to do it, though. Sometimes sharing is better to be done without being pleaded with. If you had to choose between a Derby pie and a Kentucky Silk, Kentucky Silk. I don't like pies with nuts in that much. What was my favorite presentation on Saturday Showdown? Oh, probably... when the girl came and gave me the little bead things. I don't know. I like talking to kids. I think it's fun when kids come on. Maybe next year we'll see more kids come on and say hi. I like working with kids. I'm doing kids right now, a kids event at the VBS thing, and that's a lot of fun for me to do that sort of thing. I just like standing up and being an idiot or just having fun. I was glad to get home and play with my own kids. My favorite video game after Final Fantasy Tactics? It might be Breath of the Wild. I really like Breath of the Wild. That's a lot of fun to play. Let's see. You could buy tickets on the door to get an Essen itself. Well, I think they meant airplane tickets, I think. Discover anything new in the North Market? Well, the Bubble Tea place had some lemonades. They had a mango lemonade, which was really, like amazingly good. So I like that. And then Jenny's Ice Cream had a new flavor, Gooey Butter Cake, which is one of the best ice cream flavors I've ever had in my life, ever. In the top 5, easy. All right. Well, it looks like there's not a lot of... Oh, there's some questions. Is there not many people watching today? Oh, there is. Just not as many questions. Or I'm skipping a lot. What army did I play when I was into Warhammer 40K, and what did you like about them? Well, initially I played the Elder, and I really liked the Elder because they felt so diverse to me. Like, I thought the Elder were neat because their squads were just so different. You had the warp spiders who could just warp around and jump around the board, and then you had the fire dragons who were close combat, and then you had just big squads of regular troops that run into people, and then the eagles who could swoop in on the board, and then the Wraith Guard who were really strong gun-wise. And I thought it was really neat to have these very different things. They just felt very diverse. Also, I wanted to play them because it seemed like every other person I played against was running either the Space Marines or the Imperial Guard. Couldn't afford the Imperial Guard because they have so many tanks and stuff. And the Space Marines just felt so generic. Space Marines are so generic that they have subdivided them into different chapters. You get the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, etc. And each of those chapters is about as popular as the other races. Now, in retrospect, I probably should have done Tyranid because I could have painted them like garbage and no one would have noticed. But after Eldar for a while, then I jumped into Tau because they were new and I wanted to see a new. And they had a lot of guns, and I thought shooting always appealed to me more than the close combat stuff. Gaming disorder is now a thing for the World Health Organization. Yeah, we saw that on the news as we were coming home. We talked about it a bit. Did I ever meet someone with such disorder with board games? I have not. What reception feedback did I get from my work at the homeschooling convention? The reception and feedback seemed to be good. I don't know that I've heard a ton of feedback afterwards, but hopefully a lot of those people will check out our channel at some point. What's your favorite buy? Orange. Do you feel board game media is anything to learn from other hobby media? I sometimes wonder if we could learn lessons from video game media. We can learn lessons from anything. I was just reading this morning about VidCon because I'm not there, and I was curious about VidCon. It's a big convention that's in Anaheim, California, and a bunch of people get together, and I looked at it and I wondered if it was too young for me, right? I mean, there's a lot of content creators and people go to meet their content creators. I don't think anyone's going to go there to meet people from the Dice Tower, and I couldn't find enough about the exhibitors. See, what I'm looking for is I want to go to a convention that's all to do. I went to the big convention in Las Vegas about video cameras and all that stuff, but that was definitely made for companies and TV stations, people with budgets that vastly exceeded mine. I wanted to go to a convention that's like more catered towards YouTubers that talk about cameras like the ones I use and different things. That I think would be fascinating. Did you get your picture taken for the giant face art installation at the center? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I saw it. It was pretty neat how they were like, it was like a video head, and it was superimposing images of faces on it. I didn't recognize any of the faces. Maybe I would have if I had stayed long enough. What house would the Sorting Hat place you in? I don't know. Who even cares? Did Melody like her lizard? Yes, I gave it to her today. Where did you get that doll behind you on the top of the dice? Oh, yeah. This. Kenny. Kenny gave this to me, and it says something like, the wisdom is in a full stomach, or something to that effect, he said. So, big shocker. But he brought it from China. Now you can see him. Can you use any info about the retreat as far as start times and end times of each day? We haven't really heard anything about it despite registering for the event. Oh, well, that's details, but it's going to be 24-hour gaming. So there's no start or end times. We have the room for 24 hours. So it's essentially just going to be 24-hour gaming with a few other events come in, and we'll announce those. We're going to start a Facebook group and stuff for people who are coming to the retreat where we can post all the information very easily. Do you have any recommendations for signage if someone wants to get a con booth? I'd recommend you go directly to China for signage. That is what we did for one of our signs recently, and we were very happy with it. What's the maximum of expansions you've ever added to Escape? Oh, just one or two at the same time at the most. I don't want to make it too confusing. Going to Essen this year, but I was only able to get a hotel outside of town. Are the trains expensive to go and come every day? I wouldn't know, but I would come early so you don't get caught up in traffic. Question, do you have any interest in attending the Brothers Mirth evening event at Moonshot Games on Thursday night of the Gen Con? Unfortunately, I'm going to be involved at Gen Con at the, not unfortunately, but the Jack Fausto Memorial Fund is one of the charities, and there's a charity ball event run by J.R. Honeycutt that is on Thursday night, so I'll be heading to that. Surprised by how many publishers were not at Origins. It was my first time at any large con, and I kept being surprised at who wasn't there. Is Gen Con just exponentially more publishers? Indeed it is. Thanks for coming to the UK Games Expo. My pleasure. What characters are you looking forward to from the World War Hulk expansion of Marvel Legendary? A preview made Korg look like he was starting a revolution. Well, Korg, for sure. Meek would be cool. Everybody in the warband, every single character in the warband, I want. And Hulk himself. I don't really care. As long as they have the warband, I'm happy. Showcase Showdown was amazing. If you guys could do it at other conventions, that would be incredible. Yeah, sure, but no. No. We thought about live streaming. Live streaming is really expensive. We're able to get the internet at Origins, but internet, for example, at Gen Con is like $8,000. Maybe it would be cheaper at PAX to get it, but the streaming internet's just super expensive. What series am I currently watching on Netflix? Nothing really. I'm not currently watching a series. I've just been so busy I haven't had time to watch much TV. Which of the conventions do you find more exhausting to go even though they're fun? In order of exhaustion, number 1, Essen. Number 2, Gen Con. Number 3, Origins. Number 4, Gamma Trade Show. Number 5, UK Games Expo. I can't believe I'm talking about how tired I get at conventions. Number 6, I've already forgotten the question. Dice Tower Cruise is not one. I went to NAB. Yeah, that's the name of the convention. I went to NAB last year. Me and Derek went to NAB. And yeah, it was really great, right? So I kind of had mixed feelings about NAB because I really liked going to it. I saw a lot of others really liked that one. Thoughts on the new Endeavor? Oh, all right. You mean Endeavor. You didn't capitalize. I was like, what new Endeavor? The new Endeavor. Looks pretty, that's for sure. Did you see the BGG posing for a Marvel Legendary Phase 1? I don't know anything about that, but for a moment I thought you said Marvel Legendary Phase 10, which would be a horrific thing. Oops, the stream died? What new battle lore army would you like? I like an elf one, I guess. What happened with the stream there, guys? I don't know. I see that the stream died there briefly. Well, this says it's not getting data from the encoder. Is it still not getting data from the encoder? This goes back to the old days when sometimes I didn't have Well, let's see here. Are you seeing me now? Tell me yes or no. I'm gonna go call on the person there. I'll be back. Maybe I'm back now. I decided to get a drink while the stream was down. People are saying there's no stream. Oh, now people are saying the stream is back.
We must have lost internet or something. Yeah, so the server is not available. Please check your settings and try again.
But my thing here says there's no data.
It says I'm sending to you. Refresh your page, maybe?
Got it.
Yeah, we lost internet.
But it came back?
Yeah, because that's what my log says.
All right, that happens sometimes, folks. Sorry. Oh, that's awful. Let me make sure. That's the last time I ordered this stuff. Organic birch water infusion. Okay, sorry. All right, let's get back to some questions here. Lots of people are talking about the stream. Let's catch up. Stream. People are saying people come back. All right, well, if there was a question you asked and I didn't answer it because it was off stream and we were down, go ahead and re-ask it. But yes, we start with birch water. Water tapped from real trees that have naturally occurring electrolytes and minerals. Then we kick it up a notch by adding full flavored fruit juice. Birch water? Does anyone like birch water? What is birch water? Is it? Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm getting used to it. All right, anyway. Let's see. By the way, if I don't answer your question after you ask it like 7 times, it means I'm not going to answer it. I'm drinking photosynthesis. Yeah, the top 10 from the UK, we're waiting on getting that from the folks there, but then we'll post that once it comes out. Was Chief Sokotoa at Origins? No, Chief Sokotoa has only been at Origins 3 times, and this year was not one of them. Although he will have shown up in 4 years. Wait, what is it, 2018, 2022? I believe 2022 was when he went there and took care of the Ronkong crisis. But he said, if I recall correctly, that was a good Origins or will be a good Origins. But that's really all the information because he doesn't really like to spoil some of the things. Besides, technically, that universe hasn't happened. It's in what we call a time wagon. And the wagons are kind of set in these, it's kind of a weird thing to explain, but think of it as like birch syrup, and just there's moments set that he jumped into. It doesn't matter. It's all very confusing, but he was there or will be there. Let's see here. Birch water has to be made up of a thing. I'm sure. Birch beer is good. That I agree on. I like birch beer. When will the live show from Origins be posted? Well, the audio version went up today, so there's that. We didn't video record it this year. We only did the audio. So the audio went up today on the Dice Tower show. You can find that at dicetower.com. How many games do you think do you have in your collection? Do you still stick to the 300 limit? No, it's about 350, my limit. And yeah, I still stick to that limit. Do you predict your next top 100 games of all time list? We'll have a lot of new games this year. Probably. Have I had a chance to play Exodus Event Horizon? Not yet. Play Fort Sumter? Oh, maybe I will. It's on my shelf over there. We'll have to wait and see. Chief Sokotoa could get triggered if you don't find the right angle to talk about him. Well, if there's one thing Chief Sokotoa is not a fan of, it's puns. That's what he's told me. We were at a tavern, I guess would be the proper word for it. This is on Vicnos 4. This is about 26 years ago or so. And so we were sitting there, and this man came up and made this just obnoxious pun to Chief Sokotoa. And so in that area, it was legal to challenge people to a duel, which is like a duel but with 3 people. You need one more person to kind of be involved. The way it works is fights between people are never considered one side. There's usually like someone else there. So like if I had been there going, yeah, tell it to him, then I'm considered the third person for the troll. Fortunately, his friend was with him, so he was doing it. So Chief Sokotoa fought both of them with vibroblades, which was a really bad situation for everyone involved, except Chief Sokotoa, who did pretty fine. But that guy never did a pun again, that I know of. I saw him at the reunion last year. That guy, yeah, he still couldn't talk. Now that Dice Master is going to an LCG format, are you still going to support it? Honestly, why not? It's easier for me to play it than it was when it was a collectible card game, I guess. Was attendance higher at Origins this year? I haven't seen an official tally yet. I have not either. So we'll wait for that. Was Legendary World War Hulk at Origins? You know, I don't know. I didn't see it there. Top 10 worst games in your collection. That's kind of a weird list. I don't know that I would know that. Are you live streaming the Dice Tower Awards this year? I plan to. What do you think is a specific thing that transforms a campaign game into a legacy game? Permanence. Who is your favorite DC villain? And your favorite Marvel? Ah! Stop drinking this stuff. Or my favorite Marvel villain. My favorite Marvel villain is either Apocalypse or Mr. Sinister. My favorite DC villain? Probably the Riddler, actually. All right, am I keeping up with the World Cup? I'm not at all, actually. If you had to be a component piece of a game, what question should I actually be asking? Because I can't think of a good one. Did Origins strangely feel more crowded on Thursday and Friday than Saturday? No, I think Saturday was the most crowded day. Hey, I caught up on questions. Nifty. What's your favorite Marvel Comics story arc? Civil War, for sure. Well, maybe. Maybe Civil War is number 2. Age of Apocalypse is still really, really fantastic. So I like Age of Apocalypse. I don't know. I'd have to stay and think about the top 10. But Age of Apocalypse, Civil War, World War Hulk, and the following sequence where he comes back to Earth. Let's see. I really liked Secret Wars. Maybe not. Secret Wars is okay. Infinity Gauntlet. Infinity Gauntlet was pretty good. I liked Infinity War too, but I think I liked Infinity Gauntlet better. Well, let's see here. I will Marvel. Let's go through here. Let's see. Yeah, Civil War, Age of Apocalypse. I mentioned those already. Planet Hulk, that's right, and then World War Hulk, sorry. House of M, ooh, House of M was really good. I like that one a lot. And here's someone who's ranked every Marvel event from worst to best. Well, that can't be right. Let's see. Age of Ultron? Nah. Secret Empire was okay. I liked it, but I think I like it better. Fear Itself, that was pretty good. I really liked Fear Itself, especially some of the parts of Fear Itself with the Junior Avengers, whatever they were called. Avengers vs. X-Men, I liked that one. That was fun. Siege was good. I enjoyed Siege a lot. X-Men have had a lot of good series. Not what was the X-Men one where they fought against Bastion? I don't remember what that one was called. They have Secret Wars here as the number one. Yeah, right. Whoever did this one doesn't know what they're talking about. There's been a lot of great ones. Okay, are you still playing Sushi Go Party? No, I finished. I did Origins Wednesday through Friday. Am I missing out on not being there Saturday or Sunday? Nah, I think you can do Origins in a day or two. I really do, and be fine. One day would be tough. I think 2 days is fine. Did you like the new Origin setup? Not especially. I think it's weird to have the exhibit hall in the middle, but it worked out okay. I was not as annoyed by it as I thought it would. I liked our location a lot. What's your favorite day that starts with a T? Tuesday, because that's my game day. Extinction Agenda. That's right. That's a good one, too. Are you done with the history of the Dice Tower? No, I plan to keep doing the Dice Tower. Hopefully we'll have history for many, many years. Gauntlet was easily better than War. Yes-ish, but there were some parts of War that I really liked. I really liked the doppelganger type stuff that War had. I liked seeing them all fighting each other at different various points. I thought that was a lot of fun. Do you have any information on the rule changes that would be implemented to Good Critters? No, they're making they made a few changes to that. I don't know actually what they are yet. Days of Future Past. Yeah, that was good. I don't like that one as much as a lot of people do. Are you excited about Marvel Strike Team? Yeah, I really am. I think Marvel Strike Team will be really good. Any insights on the upcoming Thunderzone Quest expansion? I don't know anything about it. Much. I talked to AEG this past weekend, but we didn't actually talk about details of that expansion. Why do you enjoy Gloomhaven with 2 so much? I don't know. I just find that the game there's a lot going on, and I think with 2 you go back and forth and you get to do a lot of cool things. Are you excited for the Spider-Verse movie? Nah, not really. I mean, I'll probably watch it and all. I really like the Marvel Cinematic Universe so much that I'm kind of bummed out when I see something that's not part of that universe. Do you think the Carnival of Monsters game will get released? Possibly at some point in the future. We'll see. Is my favorite game released at Origins so far Reef? No, my favorite game released at Origins is Critical Mass. I never read the Wheel of Time or Mistborn series, but love the genre. Which would you generally recommend? Mistborn? Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time is a great first book. There's no question, right? It's a great first book. And then it adds 6 gazillion characters. They are literally adding new characters all the way in the final book of the series, which was like book 13, 14, or 15, something like that. I don't remember how many books there were. They were adding more characters at the very end. There was a cast of probably thousands, and I couldn't keep track of all of them. And yet, despite having a cast of thousands, there was like only 7 unique personalities. Mistborn did a much better job, actually finished. I mean, there's different trilogies, but like the first trilogy is done. So, yeah, way better Mistborn. And it still felt incredibly epic. Is Century Golem Edition compatible with Eastern Wonders? No. Is there a Golem Edition for Eastern Wonders? No. Not at this point. How long has it been since you last played Axis and Allies? I don't know. Years. Maybe a decade. It's been a long time. Do you think the legacy style gaming is dying now? No, I don't think the legacy style games are dying. I just think they're really hard to do, so you're going to see less of them. I'm so thirsty, and yet this drink is so bad. But I mean, I think that we'll see more legacy games as time goes by, but they're just hard to do. Everyone says Origins is a playing con similar to Dice Tower Con, but everyone's Origins videos do not show this. Why is this? I mean, Origins, there's a chance to play more games than there are a lot more games there than, say, Gen Con and other cons, the bigger cons for sure. But it's not a playing con like Dice Tower Con. I mean, Dice Tower Con is literally play games the whole con, with the exception of a few events that we run. Do you have a favorite what if story from Marvel? Oh, there's so many good ones. I love the what if stories because they can do whatever they want, right? Because it's just a what if. There was one about the Civil War. What if, and there was two different options. If Tony Stark had done two things differently, and it showed a really, really bad ending and a really fantastic ending. Did I buy any new spices at the North Market? No, I bought some hot sauces and I bought a couple new mustards there. I bought a blueberry mustard, blueberry Dijon, which sounds really good. Like I think I'm gonna put that on some let's see, some Colby Jack and crackers. I think if I do that, I bet that tastes amazing. Any word on the Monster Apocalypse release? I gotta be honest, guys, I don't care about it. Because once I found out it's a miniatures game, totally out of my wheelhouse, I'm not interested anymore. If they were pre-painted miniatures like they were originally, I'd be super interested in that. The fact that you have to put them together and paint them, that's for a different genre of gamers than myself. Wheel time is usually better in the odd number books. Well, that's actually not quite true because the best book of the series is book 4, maybe other than book 1. Book 4 is amazing, and that's an even number book. And book 6 was pretty cool too, and that's also an even number book. So I don't know that the odd thing. And book 7 is easily one of the worst books in that series. So no, it has nothing to do with the odd numbers. Have you seen the Cloak and Dagger series on Hulu? No, I haven't. I mean, I saw the trailers for it, but I haven't seen it. This episode of the Dice Tower Live Q&A brought to you by Trail, a drink Tom doesn't want to like but does anyway. No, I promise I don't like this. The problem is, when I do these, I want to drink something, and this is the only drink nearby. And so this one is not any good. I drank it all. There, if I swallow it really quickly. Nope, still really horrible. Origins of the North Market Con with some game vendors. No, it's not quite true. I actually didn't go to North Market as much as I have in the past because there was just so many things to do. It was, oddly enough, one of my busier cons I've been to. I really had to run around and do a lot of stuff. Have I played the 3 new unlocks? No, we plan to, but we're in the middle of playing the newest Exit games. What if Wolverine killed the Hulk? Yeah, I read that one. There's so many good What If books. I really like them. What fictional character would you like to spend the day as? I don't know. Your lifetime? Maybe Mystique. The fact that Mystique or any other shapeshifter, really, I think it'd be neat to be able to shapeshift into different people and, walk around like this person, then walk around like that person. I thought that'd be a fun thing to do. That'd be an interesting person, too. Like, I've always thought, like Mystique, they were in the House of M storyline, they showed her being Jean Grey. She's like, I thought you liked that to Wolverine, and Wolverine was, and I was thinking that'd be kind of a weird situation, right? So let's say you're dating a shapeshifter, and the shapeshifter says, and they change to a certain look. They're like, do you like this? And you're like, I don't know how to answer this question, because if I say yes, then you'll be mad because I don't like another way you look. If I say no, it might be awkward, or like, I don't know. I think knowing a shapeshifter would be a frustrating experience because you never know when they're trying to trick you and they're like somebody else. That would be a very odd thing. I think I would have to. Yeah, but the B one would be interesting. Of course, you get in all kinds of trouble doing that. This is a really weird conversation that I'm having with myself. All right. Sorry for commenting again. Can you talk shortly about the reasons why you don't play Axis and Allies anymore? It's too long. Or even consider it one of the best war games. It's too long. I like Axis and Allies. The original Axis and Allies had some balance issues, for sure, because the Allies were better, and they should have won. There was a guy who wrote a whole treatise on the subject. Doesn't matter, just dice rolling, and it's fun, but it was very, very static. They made some change with the revised edition, and I liked it. But the fact is, for what it is, for the level of play that's involved, which is just chunking a bunch of dice, it hasn't aged well for me because there's a lot of luck in it, which I can live with, but there's an incredible amount of downtime when it's not your turn. And you wait and wait and wait, and there's really long battles sometimes. And it was fun, and it was neat, but it's just not something that I enjoy as much today. Ever tried Carolina Reaper's hot sauce? I'm sure I've had hot sauce with Carolina Reapers in it. I'm really coming down on this hot sauce thing. They rank hot sauces from 1 to 10 at these stores, and it used to be like, ooh, an 8, a 9. I'll take a drop of 10. But I discovered that, I regret those so very much right when I try them, and then about 6 hours later. I regret that. And why? Honestly, and I've had people who argue with me about this all the time. Honestly, the only reason people take these extremely super hot sauces is to show off. I mean, that's really the extent of it. It's like, look what I can do. Because if there's no one around, those hot sauces don't do anything, right? But you're with your friends like, I can handle this. It's fine. And sweat's pouring down your face, right? We just do it to impress other people. So who cares about that? So let's just take one. I like to feel the heat. I like a sense of heat, but I also like flavor. So when I went and bought them at the store, I ended up buying ones that were ranked 4 out of 10. Now, granted, I still think they're hotter than, let's say, Tabasco sauce. But they're not so hot, and I can enjoy them a lot more. My favorite is a hot sauce called Irish Whiskey, although they let me test some ones this week that I bought that I thought were really good. Top 5 potato chips. Salt and vinegar are probably my favorite, but actually Mesquite barbecue. I mean, honestly, it's the deep fried ones. Peanut oil. Those are my favorites. Regardless of flavor. I don't really eat a ton of potato chips. Did you do anything fun for Father's Day with the family? No, I did not, because I was at Origins on Father's Day. But they did send me some Father's Day messages. I got home to a pile of cards and presents. And my daughter made me a marvelous video, which if you're on my Facebook feed, you can watch that. It was really well done. And she said to me, it took 2 hours to do that. I said, I can't believe you pulled that off in 2 hours. Very impressive. Having followed the gaming industry this closely for many years now, do you find yourself becoming more enthusiastic or more cynical about it? Well, I'm definitely more cynical about the behind-the-scenes stuff that happens in the industry. That's just not as interesting to me anymore. But I'm enthusiastic about gaming in general still a lot. Toys R Us going out of business. What's your feelings about that? It's what's happening, right? I can't get that upset about it. But man, the nostalgia. Toys R Us wasn't like it used to be when we were kids anyway. Says my nostalgia out loud. But, you know, my kids are never going to, well, my kids have been to a toy store, but their kids are never going to see a giant toy store, and that makes me a little sad. Let's see here. I didn't capture the flavor of the drink. The flavor is peach mango. But they also make a strawberry one, and I hated the strawberry one. And I thought maybe they just were using bad strawberries. But it ain't the strawberries. Are you more excited for Ant-Man and Wasp or the Venom movie? Ant-Man and Wasp by a mile. First of all, the Venom movie has some cool looking special effects, but I don't care about Venom outside of Spider-Man. Venom was a cool Spider-Man villain anti-hero. By himself, I'm not interested. Or Captain Marvel. Oh, Captain Marvel I'm actually most interested in. If you get any drink spots for Dice Tower, what would it be? Sobe water or Bai, probably. Oh yeah, Coca-Cola deepest pockets. Well, yeah, money would be great, but I don't want to drink that much Coke. Time Stories or Seventh Continent? That is a good question, isn't it? Watch my top 100 this year. I've not read any of the Dresden Files books. I need to get around to doing it. Kettle cooked chips. Yeah. Barbecue kettle cooked chips are great. Spicy jams. Meh. If you could work with any game publisher, who would you choose? Well, folks, I get to work with any game publisher, so I choose lots of them. I'm nostalgic about Blockbuster. I used to love to go there and see if a new movie was in. I hated the late fees, though, says Calvin. Yeah, I agree. And one of the neat things about going to Blockbuster would be like you look through the movies and you see, be like, what? I never knew so-and-so was in this movie. And you'd like be tempted to get some old weird movie. It was a neat way to see what new movies were out, I think. Yeah, the late fees, though. And that's not even talking about the Be Kind, Rewind type stuff. How many calories is in this drink? 10. 10 calories. So far, I've drunk 5 of them. Let's see here. How do you choose your headwear for every video? I grab a hat from the closet. That's really what happens. Ben Affleck is no longer Batman? All right, well, I didn't know that. Would you like to design a video game? Nah, I don't think so. The only video game I'd be interested in designing would be some big open world game, and even then I would just want to help, like, say, they should have this, and there should be this in the game, and this should be over here in the corner. That's the kind of things I like to find. Have you read Brandon Sanderson's Way of Kings? I have. It's amazing. It's probably... Wait, I am reading... Way of the Kings is the first one in the Stormlight Archive, right? The Stormlight Archive is currently my favorite fantasy series I've ever read. I thought Mistborn was. And then I read Mistborn Wax and Wane, which I liked even better than the first Mistborn. Then I read the Stormlight Archives, and that stuff's... Holy cow, it's so good. Oh my goodness, it is so amazing, those books. I'm actually rereading the first one again because he sets stuff up so far ahead of time. It's just neat to read it. I lived in Orlando for a year, and your Waffle House is amazing. I don't live in Orlando. I've never heard anyone say Waffle House was amazing before. The Shadow Campaigns by Django Wexler. Well, maybe I'll try that one out. When is the Dice Tower documentary being released? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we want a documentary. Isn't that like when they do bad things? Would you have any more children? I think I'm going to have more children at some point when my kids start having them. I'm 41. My wife is 42. We have 7 children that are alive. Several have passed away. I think we had like 11 total, probably, or 12. I'm very blessed to have 7 kids. 7 kids is a lot. My oldest is 18. She's going to college right now. My youngest is 4, and he drives a truck around my 4s every morning. And there was a big argument going on in the Lego Soldiers department. I do not know what it was about. But I love it. I love the full spectrum. And I'm sad that my daughter is going to college now, but at the same time, I'm super excited to see what happens. You know, what's she going to go off and do? And I'm sad that we are starting the downhill swing now, right? So I've had my kids in my house now for 18 years. Well, in 14 years, they'll be gone. So I'm past the midpoint. Not to mention some of them are essentially gone as it is, you know, being old teenagers gone all the time. I'm okay with that. I'll be sad when the last one leaves, but me and Laura will be okay. You'll see Laura come to more conventions. And I get to travel with them more and spend some time, and I'll get to spend time with my grandkids. It's how things work. So, yeah, I probably won't have any more kids. 7 is good. 7's a great number. Too many people have told me. Most people say they wouldn't be able to handle 7. I don't think I could handle 7. But my wife helps me. When I say helps me, I feel like 99% of the work is hers. So I've been very blessed to have these kids. So it's a fantastic thing. Tom seems salty today. No, it's because of this drink. Let's see here. Well, we probably should end here. Have you ever contacted the team for Shut Up and Sit Down for any reason? Well, I've talked to them directly many times at different conventions. Do you have a favorite age when it comes to playing with kids? No. I like all the ages for playing with kids. And I've played games with all ages of kids. And I played games, you know, for 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, all the way up to adult games, and it's just so much fun. The old TV show 8 is Enough was maybe a hair too much for Tom. Alrighty, folks. Well, Omar, you keep asking and asking and asking if I played Who Goes There. Yes, you'll see the review of it soon enough. But for now, folks, we're going to have to end this. I got some more things to do. We have a lot of videos that we're going to try to get out this week. Not a ton went out today, but you're going to see more come out tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, you're going to start seeing our Origin preview videos, the stuff that we did live, but we're going to cut them up into different companies. So if you want to see stuff from a certain company, you'll be able to see those. We're going to post those on our channel. I'm going to be taking a look at My Little Scythe soon. Tomorrow, I got my Kickstarter show going up. So there's a lot of different things that are coming out. But overall, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Basso, and this has been Live Q&A on the Dice Tower.